Live from the quarantine, it's 2 minutes to review. I'm Matt.
And I'm Zach.
You haven't joined us for one of these before. What we do, well, welcome first and foremost to the show. We review albums, whether they're new or old, or if there's like a really important single that came out, we go ahead and we review those as well. And whoever gives the longest album review in under 2 minutes wins. And now with this being, such a trying time for everybody, everybody kind of needed something to lift their spirits up just a little bit. So there was a band that recently released one of the biggest albums of 2020, let's say on Friday. We are going to be reviewing. Well, Zach, why don't you tell them what we're reviewing?
Well, thank you for letting me tell some more about this. But yeah, it's hard to believe that it's actually been so long since we've heard a new Pearl Jam record. Gigaton marks their 11th album in their storied 3+ decade career. And, I couldn't wait to hear it. I mean, as Matt mentioned, we're in trying times to say the least. So anything kind of new to celebrate is a huge welcome for us. And Pearl Jam's definitely one of those bands that can be reliable for some really great, powerful songs. So I was really excited to give this album a full listen. So with that said, I would like to go first.
You want to go first this time?
I want to go first this time.
You're always throwing it on me. All right, fine.
Yeah. So,
right.
Because right now we are actually recording this in our own quarantines, we actually don't have the official Epic Footnote Productions timekeeper. We have to deal with our own personal Epic Footnote Productions timekeeper. So, Matt, is your Epic Footnote Productions timekeeper ready?
It's safe to say that it is. I'm hoping that this syncs up with this audio. So,
oh, that's a good point.
We'll allow for a little fudging this time around.
Yes, we are going to use the honor system in this. But you know what? I feel alive. I'm ready to go.
All right, so you ready?
Count me down.
10, 10, 10, go.
So if you were a little concerned that the first single, Dance of the Clairvoyants, was a sign that Pearl Jam was going to be more heading toward a experimental Talking Heads inspired direction, fear not. Gigaton is a rock album, and it finds the band really staying true to their strengths while still being able to sprinkle in some new tricks along the way. And it definitely makes for the band's most refreshing sounding album in years. And that's not just because it's been years since we've heard new music, but songs like Super Blood Wolf Moon, Quick Escape, Take the Long Way prove that Stone Gossard and Mike McCready really can still remember some amazing guitar licks, while Jeff Ament and Matt Cameron really are one of rock's best rhythm sections. But with that said, it's actually a really pleasant surprise when you realize that a lot of the songs actually find the four members swapping instruments and experimenting and bringing their own take on that instrument. And it just proves how talented of a band as a whole they are. I mean, I actually think Dance of the Clairvoyants is a great example of literally everyone taking chances on a different instrument or trying something new and really feeling like a group. And then there's also a song like Take the Long Way where not only does Matt Cameron play guitar and sing some vocals on it, he actually wrote the song, which I thought was really cool. And then, of course, Eddie Vedder, one of the most iconic, passionate, recognizable voices in music today, and he still shines on this record. So now, admittedly, the album does lose steam toward the end. It doesn't find ways to maintain that burst of energy that's captured at the very beginning throughout the record. With that said, Gigaton consistently feels like a full band collaboration, where each member is able to bring their A game while also creating a united album that really makes a nice addition to Pearl Jam's legendary catalog.
All right, I've got a time. And what's your star rating on this?
I'm going to give it a 4-star rating.
Wow. 4.
Yeah. Super Blood Wolf Moon, it's just a great song. Listen, like I said in my review, there's definitely moments that are slower. It definitely loses steam towards the end of the album. But when Pearl Jam is on fire, they are on fire. And there is a lot of moments on this record where you just hear a refreshed, unified band. And it's just really an enjoyable record.
Okay. Fair enough. So I think I'm
Are you
ready.
ready? All
Oh,
right.
I'm ready.
I'm going. So this is.
Don't call me daughter. It's not fair to
Well,
me.
well, why would I? You're Matt.
All
You're
right, good. Just
whose
making sure
daughter?
we're clear. Count me in.
10, 10, 10. Go.
So with the new album Gigaton, it sounds to me like they've hit their stride with what they've come to learn on Lightning Bolt. It doesn't stray too far from there. I'd also say this album sounds a little bit like it was a blending together of Lightning Bolt and the Avocado album. And they do sprinkle in new ideas throughout the album on tracks like Dance of the Clairvoyant, Quick Escape, and weirdly a song called Buckle Up, which has this weird kind of lullaby vibe to it. Not a huge fan of that one, but on other tracks, do I dare say that they are dabbling in Radiohead territory with songs like All Right and 7 o'clock. But also they do have a lot of very different and interesting sounds on this album. I know a lot of people were kind of put off by Dance of the Clairvoyant sound. I also kind of wish that they did a little bit more of that on the album, but they don't. On like Quick Escape, they go with a more Zeppelin type vibe. Never Destination sounds a little like Worldwide Suicide. Take the Long Way. Let me tell you about a really cool song. This one has some really nice dual vocals. It's a little bit more punk-esque. I actually kind of like what they do on there. And then on Retrograde, they kind of round out the album. It's a very cool soundscape. It sounds kind of similar to on Lightning Bolt, like Sirens. So to round out my review, I would say that this is definitely a listening album from Pearl Jam, not a singles album. You really have to listen to this one all the way through to kind of understand the journey that the band is taking you on from start to finish.
Alrighty. What's your rating?
I'm gonna give 3.5 stars.
3.5. That's
Three and a
fair.
half. Yeah, I
You
think.
know, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Sorry.
I was gonna say that it does sound like Pearl Jam. I like that they took some chances, and I like what they did with Dance of the Clairvoyants. Super Blood Wolf Moon is a great song. It feels like they learned what they could do on Lightning Bolt, and it kind of stayed there for me. It didn't really move. They did go in, like I said, a couple of different directions, and it's both funny that we said they sprinkle in new ideas throughout the album because it's true they did, but it wasn't enough of a risk taking this time around. Maybe if Eddie Vedder, I want to say like he's painting this like environmental picture with this album. Maybe that's where they're trying to take all their chances with is in the lyrics instead of with the music. But I wish they kind of fleshed out more of the ideas that they kind of put into the album.
It's Dance of the Clairvoyants. I think it's interesting that you said that you kind of wish they did a little bit more of the experimenting because you definitely, while it might throw you in for a loop, no pun intended, when you first hear the more electronic drum sound, it did sound like they were excited in the studio, that they were definitely unite. Like I keep using the word united because that's the other thing I really took away from this album is that there was maybe one or two songs where it was the more slower acoustic-y songs where it didn't feel like a whole group project, but at no point did I just feel like it was Eddie Vedder saying, all right, guys, do this while I do that. Like it really did feel like a collaboration among all of them. And I think Dance of the Clairvoyants definitely was the pinnacle of that. And I would have liked if they tried more of that stuff, but then you hear a song like Super Blood Wolf Moon and you're glad they did a rock song like that. Because
Yeah,
that is where that's where they shined the most.
oh,
In my opinion.
absolutely. Absolutely. I would have to say that's probably the best song on the album. Maybe Quick Escape is in there.
I
I
was going to
like
say Quick Escape and Wolf Moon are my two favorite songs on the album.
Yeah, it's a good album. I'm not taking anything away from Pearl Jam with that. So Pearl Jam fans, if you're going to come at me with a cleaver and say you're saying this is a bad album, no, I'm not saying it's a bad album. It's a good album. It does get a little bit laggy in the middle when they start to get into those 6-minute songs and it's kind of on the slower side. It's like, okay. I don't mind like Pink Floyd in, some of their longer, slower tracks, but it's like, okay, you know what to kind of expect with Pink Floyd and getting into that territory where they do kind of get all trippy. And Pearl Jam, I feel like they're not that band that you want to get that from. You want to get, something a little bit more grunge, a little bit more like you talked about, where they show their musicianship, because let me say this, I can still listen to 10 to this day and find something new every time I listen to it. That's the kind of stuff you expect from Pearl Jam.
Yeah.
not this more lengthy, drawn out.
There's
I
definitely
want to say like it feels like an experimental type vibe, and that's really the only other way I could put it.
To your point, not as much discovery on this album. They start off going, all right, we're finding some new little things to throw in, and then like toward the end, they just like, all right, let's just get. Not that it's on autopilot, but it's like, all right, we're in a groove now. Let's just keep it going. I'll give you that. But the moments that are stellar, and it almost makes up for the fact. It makes up for the fact that when there are moments of lag, it lags. Because I could still listen to Superblood, Wolf Moon, and Quick Escape, and even Dance of the Clairvoyants. Like, honestly, the first half of this record makes up for the rest of it so much that I still feel comfortable giving it a 4-star review.
And one of the things that kind of was a detriment to me when I listened to this for the first time, when I was working from my dining room the other day, I actually put the album on when it came out. And I didn't realize it was on random, and I just hit play. And I got the first track, and after that, it randomized and it put all of like the heavier rocky songs together, and then it just dropped off a cliff to all of the slower songs. I was like, man, did they do this on purpose? Because this is like a tranquilizer listening to this now. But then I went back and I listened to it again, and I was like, oh, damn, okay. That makes sense. It was on random the whole time. So when I didn't put it on random, the album sounded a lot better. And it's funny how a track listing can actually do that to an album.
Yeah, it's proof that you need an even flow of songs.
It is. You did there. But it doesn't matter. None of this matters.
None of it matters.
We know what matters.
Do we, though? Oh, yeah, we do. So, Matt, what was my time then?
So I'm going to allow for a 1.5 second fudge factor in all of this. Let's round it up to 2 seconds. A 2-second fudge factor, just in case the video and the audio isn't syncing up and you started a little late.
All right.
So with that being said, your time is 2 minutes, 3 seconds. Just over 2 minutes.
Really?
Yes.
Dang.
Here, I'll show you, because we've got this great video technology here. 2 minutes, 3 seconds.
2 minutes and 3 seconds. Dang it.
What's my time?
I don't want to tell you. No, your time is 1 minute and 30 seconds.
Boom.
If I had just not stumbled over some words, because I'm going to listen back to my review and I'm going to be like, man, I'm not the happiest of my review, to be completely honest. I feel like I stumbled over a few words. Oh man. Really?
That just proves that I'm better at this game, and I gave a better review.
Boo. Well, what did you think? Did you agree with Matt and myself? Do you think we're completely wrong and you have your own separate opinions on Pearl Jam's Gigaton? Let us know on Facebook, Twitter, Instagram. Shout it out of your windows, but stay home.
Shout it out loud.
Shout it out loud. Now it's not a Pearl Jam song. That's just a funny song title now. Let us know what you think on social media. And we know how difficult everything is right now with everything going on. Seriously, thank you everyone for listening to us two music nerds, giving our thoughts on new music, as well as for continuing to listen to our stuff, because we're going to be continuing to produce some episodes as we move forward during these challenging times.
You know, with a commitment to hoping that this thing goes away faster. You know, I haven't left my house. Zach hasn't left his house. You know, I'm sure you're probably 45 and listening to Two Music Nerds, and I don't have to tell you to wash your hands, but I'm going to say it: wash your hands and don't cough on anybody. You know,
just
do the government-approved cough into your elbow, or cough in your hands and then wash your hands again.
Yeah,
it's just like Rocco. Do you remember Rocco's Modern Life?
Yeah, of course.
You turn the page, you wash your hands. You turn the page, you wash your hands.
But again, like, be safe out there, and thank you for letting us help eat away at some time that we know that everyone has right now. So thanks. Keep listening. We'll be continuing to give you all some stuff to listen to, and keep letting us know what you think on our social media accounts. So thanks, everybody.
Thanks, guys. See ya. You turn the page, you wash your hands.